Oh, what do you hear? What do you say? That Park Place. Marvin Movie Monster Montanero here. I'm the editor-in-chief of a little website called That Park Place. We're happy to have you guys with us here today. I am joined, as always, by my Wookiee co-pilot, Mr. Vash Sky.
Hello there. So good to have. Wait a minute. I can do the Wookiee roll. There
Very
you go.
good.
Right there.
Very good. People can't actually see that you actually did dress as a Wookiee today, specifically for this stream, because we're getting into character.
That's true. That's true. We really taking this Wookiee co-pilot thing to the maximum extent possible for you guys.
Vash Sky, not only the Wookiee co-pilot on this show, but the owner and operator of the Vash Sky Parkcast, the best new theme park channel on the internet today. Vash, tell them about what's going on over there.
Vash Sky Parkcast is a new channel by me, and you guys have been so supportive of this new venture here. It is unfamiliar territory to me because I've never really had a channel before. I've obviously contributed to That Park Place, Pro, all your favorite channels for so long, but this is the first time really that I'm going out there and providing you content via a channel of my own, and I'm super proud of it, and I am so thankful for all of you who have already subscribed, even though we have content on right now. You can go ahead and share my screen, Marvin. Just show the people what we have right there. Not much, but I have
subscribers though. That's definitely something for having absolutely no content up.
We do, and I just want to thank a big thank you to everybody for actually doing that for sure. I have been working on this new video going over Josh Duhamel's career, but the scope of it, you hear about scope creep. It has gotten so big, and it's taken me a little bit longer to get out than I originally anticipated. And so I think we might actually go live before we do have that first video out there, just as a thank you to everybody and to provide content in the interim. And really kick this thing off right. So I'll be in discussions with Pro, with Marvin, obviously, and we'll try to get that first live stream out there for you very, very soon. And it's going to be a lot of fun. So please check it out. Here you go. I'll go ahead and put the link in the chat right there, or awesome. Not the link, but just my name, so that you can go through there and subscribe and be notified when we go live or when we drop a video as soon as possible.
Awesome. Fantastic. Well, Vash, it's not just you and me today. Of course, we have our regular panel of excellence here. First of all, the one and only Miss Erika from Hanging with Erika and Raph.
Sorry, I'm scarfing down my dinner really fast.
You know what? I saw you said that in the private chat. I thought for some reason I read MJ instead of Erika, and I was like, "Oh, I'll bring Erika out first because MJ's eating." And wow, okay, batting 1,000.
No, you're fine.
Hold on. MJ's here.
I was eating. I had a snack. These are amazing and healthy. This is Brookside Ikai Blueberry Dark Chocolate. They're gluten-free and they're really good. So I was just nibbling on those, but I'm pretty much done. But I'm not alone. I got Peg Leg Pete here.
Oh, you do? You're very piratey today.
Yeah, I felt very piratey today. So I said, you know what? A pirate's life for me.
You know what? By the way, guys, if you are looking for awesome pirate content, make sure you check out the book by our friend Jay, Drunk 3PO, and the one and only X-Wing over on Ripascend. It's called Daughter's Revenge, and it is an amazing pirate graphic novel that you can pre-order right now. They are on the road to 2,000 pre-orders, so make sure you pre-order Daughter's Revenge over there on Ripascend and help our brother out, because Jay is one of the best guys I know. X-Wing is he's all right. No, X-Wing is a tremendous guy and awesome talent, and they deserve all of the success in the world. So make sure you guys go to Represent and take care of that. So let's see if we've vamped enough for Erika to have been able to.
I'm good.
Oh, you all good?
Mm-hmm.
All right, guys, we have got a major. Erika, also, you have a new live stream that you've been going live with lately.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, me and Raph started live streaming on our channel since we were having people ask, we never see Raph on camera. We want to see Raph. And I basically told Raph, our channel does say Hanging with Erika and Raph. I think we should deliver on that. So we started about a month ago.
Hanging with you, so that's pretty cool. But guys, this show also is made for you and financed by you. We count on your generous super chats to keep the lights on around here. And we've got one already coming in, Flying Blind on a Rocket Cycle, sent in a $3 super sticker. Thank you so much, Flying Blind on a Rocket Cycle. We do break for $50 or more. So if you send in a super chat that's worth $50 or more, it moves to the front of the line when we stop after the story to go through the super chats. So get those super chats in, guys. We would love to make you a part of the conversation. All right, guys, we have got a lot to talk about today. And you know what? It is an interesting day in Florida because Disney just got a little less gay.
Sorry.
It's funny how you just came out with that, just so nonchalant.
Gay Days event at Walt Disney World is paused for 2026. Some people call it a pause, other people call it canceled. We're going to find out what that means today on That Park Place. Guys, the Gay Days event, it has been a staple of Pride Month in June here in the Orlando area for many, many years. Started off as like a small little event where people just wore red to alert each other. And then, a lot of very confused dads walking with their families who happened to wear red that day and didn't know about Gay Days had a very interesting experience. But this year, it is not happening. Now, this event has grown exponentially over the years. Let's go into it. This from thatparkplace.com, written by me. Gay Days event at Disney World paused for 2026 amid sponsorship loss and event challenges. The long-running Disney World Gay Days gathering, a multi-day fan-organized meetup that has traditionally taken place each June in the Orlando area, has officially been placed on pause for 2026, according to an announcement from event organizers. Guys, I do have it on good authority. Culture Casino has managed to get a refund for his flight, so he will be
terrible. That's
just terrible. So I had to hit him.
Poor Culture.
Poke your head up in my chat, Culture. You're getting a gay joke. The decision calls what would have marked the 35th anniversary of the unofficial Pride Month tradition, which typically draws thousands of attendees to Central Florida, including group visits to Walt Disney World and other nearby theme park destinations. Now, organizers, what exactly happened? Let's see what the organizers had to say. After careful consideration, we've made the difficult decision to pause the Gay Days Orlando event scheduled for June 2026. Changes to our host hotel agreement, the loss of key sponsorship support, and broader challenges currently impacting LGBTQIA plus events nationwide made it impossible to deliver this experience, the experience our community deserves. This is a pause, not an ending. For more than 30 years, Gay Days has been built by and for our community. Our focus now is on reimagining the future and returning with a stronger, more sustainable event. We will share updates in the coming months as we shape the next chapter together. Thank you for your support, your patience, and for being a part of the Gay Days family. Sincerely, Culture Casino. No, I'm kidding. That last part didn't happen, but sorry, I had to get another one in there.
We're getting canceled.
But
that's it.
But yeah, so sponsorship, Vash, that is an interesting thing here. So it looks as though they lost their sponsorships, and they're citing all of this other stuff. I got to think the sponsorship thing has got to be the thing that hits them the hardest here.
Oh yes, absolutely, and that's why they're that's why they list it as one of the top reasons as to why this event has been paused. And the footage that you're seeing here actually is the Pride Nights put on by Disney themselves.
This is actually the Disney-approved event in Anaheim. Now, they do not have a Pride event in Orlando, it should be noted, right. But in Anaheim, they do this Pride Night, right?
Right. Yes, they do. Yes, they do. So, and from what we understand, Anaheim Pride is still going to take place, from what, from at least the research that I've been doing right now. But it's really interesting because I was kind of like doing a little research on this topic and trying to find out exactly what funding or sponsorship that could have been. And apparently broader, but the national trend is that corporations who used to sponsor events like this, right, have been pulling back. We've actually seen a number of different Pride events across the nation actually have to pause or cancel their events, that including Tampa Pride, Arlington, Texas Pride, Tucson Pride, for those AZers around me there. And I guess it all stems from, like I said, these corporate-backed sponsorships that are not just pulling back their sponsorships of Pride organized events, but also just DEI initiatives in general, because, well, they don't want to fall prey under this administration that has said that DEI is a no-go in 2025 and beyond. But also, too, I think it's also there's just been a lack of enthusiasm for these type of events and these type of initiatives, that being DEI, than we've seen before. And so they just couldn't get the sponsorships to hold their events in the Orlando area. We're not just talking about like the independent groups, right, that would just go to the parks and wear red. We're talking about like they usually had like pool parties at these hotels that they would actually book out, DJ events, competitions, pageants, shows, entertainment, concerts, all kinds of stuff. And all of those have been officially put on pause, according to this press release here.
Now, MJ, have you ever been in the parks on gay days?
No, I avoid it by all means. And my birthday happens to be in June, so.
So I have seen some stuff on those days where you have a lot of public displays of affection that, look, I would say to any couple acting like that in the theme park, I don't care what makeup you guys have as far as genders in a couple, I would be like, that's a little much. You're in a family theme park. So there were some issues with attire in the past. Some people have claimed that Disney is a little bit looser on their restrictions on dress code during these days. I cannot confirm or deny that. I've never seen anything crazy like that, but I have heard tale of it in the past. So yeah, it is. So MJ, as somebody going with kids, like, how do you think parents react when they go in there and they don't understand that this is what's going on, and then there it is?
It can be really a shocker, and not necessarily something you just want to walk into, right? Because you work so hard, you save up, you're planning your trip, and you just want to have a good time and not have to worry about covering your kids' eyes because you're not ready to explain to them what's happening. These are the type of things that should just probably take place elsewhere, because Walt's vision for his parks, and I can't emphasize that more. This is not Dana Walden's park. This is not Josh D'Amaro's park or Iger or Chapek. This is Walt Disney, and these are the parks that he envisioned. He imagined and created a place for people to come and be, yes, happy, enjoy, families, children to enjoy. This is a place where you're supposed to let your guard down and just enjoy your day in the parks and not have to worry about this kind of things being shoved in your face. It's just not the place for that.
And one thing about the fan event here, they don't do things like this. Like, you don't see like a rainbow parade coming down Main Street on those days. This is a Disney After Hours event, sponsored by Disney itself over in California. Now, that is also not saying that, folks who have alternative lifestyles shouldn't go to Disney World. They absolutely should. What we're talking about here is an organized fan event that kind of takes over the park. And these fan events, there are a few of them. And when you show up on any day where there is a fan event that you didn't know about, it can be disruptive to your trip, because typically the crowds are higher. And you're dealing with a lot of like things you didn't expect to see. Like, I have had accidental Dapper Day several times, where I suddenly show up and the Magic Kingdom is packed and everyone's in formal wear. And I'm just like, this is the dumbest thing I've ever seen in my life. But I hate Dapper Day. So Erika, we saw this past year for Pride, a lot of these corporations no longer, changing their profile pictures to the rainbow. We saw things happen where like Bud Light got the boycott. We saw it happen again with Target. Target had a huge boycott after what they did during Pride a few years ago. Do you think we have turned a corner with this kind of thing?
Yes and no. Maybe on a corporate level, they're taking notes and they don't want to be Bud Lit. They want to still make profit. But at the same time, I think all this is going to do is it's just going to go back to the way it used to be before there was sponsorships involved, where your Pride group is going to go in June, and they may go back to wearing red again, but I have a feeling that we'll say Skittles Nation, as Lorena puts it.
That's good.
I have a feeling, I don't know, they could come out kind of in a quiet protest, and we may see it amped up, just them coming on their own, not because there's anything sponsored or not. I don't know. It could be either way.
Here's the interesting thing, Vash, is that now normally when something like this happens, when an event like this gets canceled, sponsorships are pulled, things like that, there's a major outcry about it. We have not seen any kind of activist pushback about this whatsoever that I have noticed as of yet.
That's really interesting because you got to think, like in the Orlando market specifically, this was really the community that ousted Chapek back in 2022, right?
Yeah.
After the whole,
Parental rights and education bill.
Parental rights and education bill. Yes, I didn't want to call it by its media given name, but after that was passed, you then had a lot of pressure put on Chapek to actually say something about it, given the communities in which Disney has previously served in the past to a very great extent. And Chapek originally said, "No, we don't want this company to become a political football for any cause out there," and unfortunately lost a lot of confidence amongst his staff and a lot of people at the company, including the board chairman Susan Arnold, which was really unfortunate. And he then pivoted at the shareholders meeting that took place, I think, like a couple weeks after that bill was actually passed, completely doing a 180. And coming out very strong, saying that, we're going to go ahead and oppose this legislation in the courts and nationwide, and all of this. And that's when it was like, okay, you want to go ahead and do that, Disney? This being from the state, we're going to go ahead and revoke your RCID, and that was the kind of snowball that turned into an avalanche for Chapek. He was ousted, and there you go. So it is kind of weird, Marvin, I will say that we haven't seen a lot of outcry, pushback, a lot of media hype surrounding this, etc. Because you could almost, it was deafening back in Chapek's era.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Well, and we didn't really get a lot of outcry during Pride Month when the corporations weren't embracing it anymore. I think the only major corporation that I saw do anything was Microsoft.
Right.
But we didn't really see a major out. I mean, there were some rumblings about like Disney's not changing their profile picture again, and like all these different corporations, didn't do it, because at the end of the day, guys, this is what matters: is that these corporations are doing this to make money. That is the sole purpose as to why they do it. No corporation has ever given to a cause or made a social stink over something that they did not think that was ultimately going to pay off for them. And clearly they just don't see the money in it anymore. So Vash, is Pride Night for Anaheim officially on the calendar this year, or is it just that it's happening?
It is officially on the calendar. It was really interesting because I was doing research for this story and stories like it. The other nights have their ticket listings already set up, like 70 Years of Magic, for example. I think there's one like 90s Night and so forth. The one that does not have their tickets, the ability to purchase tickets set up, is Pride Night. Now, that's the later event, and it's only 2 nights. But I did find that kind of interesting that hadn't been put together for this year, given what the company has touted before as this is a very successful event. So I don't know if enthusiasm is waning for this. I'm not sure, but I did find it kind of interesting that you can buy tickets for every single one of these except for Pride Night, at least right now.
Have you guys ever heard about the guy who flies the plane with the banner or does the skywriting here in Orlando?
I know there's a plane that does that.
I haven't seen it in a long time, but I remember a big stink got caused about him years back, like when I first moved here, going back like a decade, because he flew a banner over Orlando that said like, "Warning, gay days at Disney," will be June this day and this day. Like basically just alerting parents to the fact that it was happening, so that they could plan their trips accordingly if they didn't want to bring their kids. And you know, he got vilified. I will say it was really hard to get my pilot's license for that, but I managed to ace the test. No, I'm kidding. It wasn't me. I would never fly a plane. But yeah, so you know, it's a thing that people know about in Orlando. Orlando is a very gay city. Like there's a lot of you know, LGBT organizations here in Orlando. So yeah, them not doing this event, I wonder if it's going to change anything for Disney in June as far as crowd levels go.
That's a good question. It's a good point.
They've been focusing in the summertime. They've been focusing a lot on like a cool kids summer. I think I think things are shifting. I'm not trying to make promises or tell people or give their hopes up, but I see change coming, and it's coming slowly, and it's creeping in a positive way, because if they're focusing on a cool kids summer and they're doing the free water park admission for resort stays, I believe that's May 26th to the 8th of September. And then you have your kids eat free dining plan. If they could just stay focused on that and keep it, you know, they know there's no school during the summer. The kids are out of school. Parents plan their vacations, especially the ones that are teachers, right? Or have a career that allows them time off in the summer with their children, whatever. I think things are possibly shifting in a better direction and focusing on the vision of what the parks are meant to be. Again, I'm always hopeful and optimistic, but I feel like those factors play a key role here. And you know, even in Epcot with the whole Goofy thing in Communicore Hall, and not in Communicore Hall, where was he doing that thing where he plays with the kids and toys? And
no, absolutely. But Vash, for Pride Night in Anaheim, have we ever seen a report as to how well it's attended? Like, does it draw like what Oogie Boogie Bash would draw, or something like that? Like, is it worth having an after hours event?
I mean, there have been a number of different nights that Disney has tried to host in the past. I think maybe Date Night might have been one of them. Princess Night, Sweethearts Night. There's a whole cadre of them. Pride Night has always been one of the constants, along with, I believe, Star Wars Night. So they do believe there's a market here, but it hasn't grown. You know, it's only 2 nights this year, and details are still forthcoming as to what they're actually going to do for this year's Pride Night. So, you know, unlike Oogie Boogie Bash,
if only we had culture on the panel today, we would be able to know. I mean, I'm not saying I'm not saying anything about my dear friend, but he does put the gay in that game place.
Well, hey, Oogie Boogie Bash has added nights, right? They've added nights, they've increased capacity. Pride Night has not done that. So, you know, I don't think it's been unbelievably successful for the Mouse House. I will say the first person, the most noteworthy person that was at the first Pride Night event, I believe that was back in 2023, was Gavin Newsom, the governor of California. Very interesting.
That is interesting.
WWE Pro in the chat, by the way, saying, I can't tell, is this Disneyland or the U.S. Olympic Ice Skating Women's Championship?
Oh.
We were watching the men's figure skating last night.
They nailed it.
They were really good, but I was like, man, I'm shocked the ice is
amazing. Phenomenal job. If they're watching,
really
kudos to you guys. You guys, they were so on point, and their song was great. They chose like 90s music. It was great. It was really good.
Yeah, I don't know like how they don't get dizzy, because like they are like literally spinning like a top. But anyway,
I would vomit.
I digress, guys. So Gay Days not happening this year in Walt Disney World. You might be able to have a Yabba-Doo time there, folks, but you will not be having a gay old time. Was that too targeted of a reference?
It's pretty good. I like it.
That's a good one.
Pluto dancing. The comments are funny. Oh my god.
Oh my goodness.
Why do you do that to Pluto?
Making my screen cringe.
And the costumes are geared for that event, or am I crazy?
Yeah, no, they're all rainbow costumes.
They do that all year round. Disney always themes the characters' outfits according to the season or event that's being celebrated. They've always done that.
They created custom costumes just for this event. That was back in 2022 or 2020. I'm sorry, 3 or 4.
Very interesting.
Guys, we have got some super chats to get to here. We see our friend Kalioff in the chat for $5. Are they worried that lawsuits are paying out and are scaling back for liability? Nah, they just have nothing to do besides eat and drink, no attractions.
So true.
Yeah,
so true.
Probably is true. Flying Blind on a Rocket Cycle checking in for $5. Was Culture in his bear outfit when he posted that? I love it. By the way, guys, Culture is straight as an arrow. Like it's all just joshing around. You'd make the same jokes about me. And Just a Dutchie with 20 that Park Place memberships. Oh, Just a Dutchie. What are you doing, my friend? That is incredibly generous. Thank you very, very much. You know what? We have got to play a clip here for Just a Dutchie.
We're playing in the green, green grass. Oh, tell me, how do we make it last? Under the sun, the blue stretches.
All right. I'm kind of proud of that puts the gay in that game place, though. I thought that was...
It's not bad.
And I like the yabba dabba do time. Yeah.
Oh,
I mean,
the Flintstones
word,
reference.
it's so sad that the word gay means happy and everything has to be twisted and perverse in this world that we live in. It's so sad.
All right, guys, we are moving on because we have got another story to talk about. Josh D'Amaro is making his intentions known when it comes to gaming and Fortnite. And, well, apparently, he doesn't really know much about it.
There we go. One more for the top. Triple decker, just how you like it.
Wow, thanks, Mr. Walt.
You enjoy it.
We will.
The Walt Disney Company has made $1 billion investment into Epic Games as part of its ongoing quest to become a major part of Fortnite, because Bob Iger just realized that kids like video games. But Josh D'Amaro, the man taking the spot as the big cheese of the Walt Disney Company, is sounding off to reporters about what he has planned. And, well, it sounds like a whole lot of nonsense, honestly. This comes to us, and I apologize if there was any other way to present this story, I would, but this comes to us from Polygon. And, well, they kick it off as only Polygon can. There's still a month before Josh D'Amaro, Daddy Josh, if you're a Disney Parks fan.
Oh, my goodness gracious. No, they did not. They did not.
They did put that in there.
Stop, Polygon.
Oh my gosh.
What in the world? Have you ever heard anyone call him that?
I've heard of it. I just didn't understand where it came from, but I've heard of Daddy Josh.
I have. My old, the channel that I used to be a part of, Orange Grove 55, which, by the way, I'll be making appearances there sometime soon. Very interesting. He has referred to Josh D'Amaro as Daddy Josh in the past. I think ironically, but still.
Kind of intervention because.
Yes.
I didn't kill Han Solo. Wokeness killed Han Solo.
But yeah, never change, Polygon. Never change. Because you clearly never will. Will take over as the CEO of the Walt Disney Company. Even so, he's already revealing some of his plans for the company and their partnership with Fortnite. For better or worse, it sounds a lot like D'Amaro views it like he does the theme parks, a place to sell Disney merchant experiences. It's a digital expansion of the company's real-world branded ecosystem. Now, D'Amaro reportedly spoke with a group of bloggers in an off-the-record conversation on February the 6th. However, a recording of the conversation was believed to have been obtained by Puck, which had absolutely no qualms about sharing this off-the-record conversation, sharing a quote from the upcoming CEO about Disney's partnership with Epic Games on Fortnite. Quote, it's not just going to be one character, D'Amaro reportedly said. It could be a new film premiering there. What? It could be the place where you decide to book your next cruise vacation. What? You could participate in the Super Bowl in some way. What? Josh. There's a lot going on in that statement. At first blush, the standout part of the quote is the idea of premiering films in Fortnite. However, there is some precedent to this. In 2021, the trailer for Christopher Nolan's Tenet debuted in Fortnite. Sitting down in a virtual Fortnite theater for a feature-length film, though, might not be everyone's idea of a good time, but it surely is someone's. The part that stands out to this Fortnite and Disney fan, of course, this is the writer who called him Daddy Josh speaking. D'Amaro is adding that it could be the place that you decide to book your next cruise vacation. While Disney wouldn't be the first cruise company to show off a ship in the game, there's a difference between a limited time promotional island to showcase a new ship and treating Fortnite as a place to decide where to spend thousands on your next vacation. I don't know, Vash, when I'm going in to book my next cruise vacation, I'm probably not doing it on Fortnite.
No, I don't think that's what's happening, and I don't know if this will translate into increased visitation at the theme parks in general, right? I mean, I think that's the idea behind this is like, okay, let's go ahead and bring our parks, resorts, some of our offerings into the digital world, so that people playing within this virtual environment can get a glimpse or a taste of what a Disney experience might be like, and might be actually be able to book a vacation afterwards, or more likely to. And I just don't really see that translating. I and putting your stock behind just a single video game like this that could very well be. I mean, obviously, it's not flavor of the month or like flavor of the last couple of years, but we've seen how enthusiasm peaks and then it drops off. I just don't know how sustainable this is in terms of Disney's foray into the digital sphere. So I guess we'll see. But I remember when this investment was originally made, everybody was just really excited about it. You saw the stock jump a couple of points for this, and then the AI boom really took off, and nobody really talked about it before. But you have seen some articles saying, "Oh well, Josh D'Amaro is in charge of this Epic Games." Kind of partnership via the consumer products line of the experiences division, and it's like, oh, okay, like I don't know if it's even worth referencing, because it's literally that they are just providing their IP to one single video game. Now, it happens to be a very large video game in terms of player base, but still, it's just one single venture for them. I just don't really see the significance here.
Vash, I am having a computer issue. I need to restart real quick. Would you be able to continue the conversation in my stead while until I get back?
Absolutely, no problem at all.
All right.
Erika, MJ, absolutely, Marvin. Have any of you guys played Fortnite? And what do you think about this whole idea that we're going to go ahead and incorporate not only Disney IP, but actually trailers that they might debut on this platform?
I have no clue what I mean, I've heard the name. I've never played it. I'm not a gamer. I do have friends in the gaming space that stream that are very recently trying to get me to, game with them with Fortnite. I don't really have much of a clue. It looks weird if you ask me, but I'm that old lady.
No problem. MJ, do any of the kids in your household play Fortnite? Do they, are they enthusiastic about the Disney characters featured in there? If they do play, your thoughts, please.
Well, yeah, the kids, especially my son, he is a bit of a gamer. He has played Fortnite. It's under my supervision, and I have like every parental control you can think and manageable, but he's not jumping up and down for joy for this debut that they're having. Is that Disney villains or just Disney characters in general? Like,
yeah, I think this was the specific announcement that villains were going to make their debut in the Fortnite world. And this was
like more excited, maybe like Star Wars. He gravitated towards that when that was coming. I don't even know if that's a thing that's still happening, but there was other overlays. I'm trying to remember that he was excited about. They threw characters, I think, like even SpongeBob, and he gets excited with certain things, but this is not getting his attention whatsoever.
And we've seen a number of these kind of character or park integrations via this partnership now. I believe they celebrated, I think, a portion of the 70th anniversary with certain iconic structures and so forth. I think one of them was the Pixar Pal around it at Disney California Adventure Park at Disneyland Resort, and also too, I think Sleeping Beauty Castle was another one of them. So they have been incorporating more Disney into this game experience right here. I just don't know if that translates into the kind of I don't know.
What kind of audience do you think that they're gearing towards? It's not the alpha generation, because I don't think Generation Alpha cares too much for these characters. I think it's more maybe Gen Zs, because I remember the girls when they were really little. And if you guys can help me, because I used to sit and watch them play, I got everything for them to do it. I think it was on the Xbox, and there was like millions of characters you could choose from, and they were like these. I'm using my hair clip as an example. It was like a little platform, and then you would put the character there, and then you would play that character on the screen. It was a really cool game. I just can't remember. Was it at Disney? I think it was an Xbox game. It was really, and they had Rapunzel. They had all the princesses. They had
that Vash. That's like that one that they used to have the setup for in the parks. Forget the name of it.
Yeah,
Infinity.
virtual.
Thank you, Disney,
Disney
Infinity. They girls loved that game, and but my son Corbin Dallas does not care for that whatsoever. He's not into. Maybe the Avatar thing. Is this coming out soon, or it's already out, ready for you to get?
Yeah, I believe the Avatar integration has already passed there.
Oh, okay.
But see, I think the one thing about Gen Alpha is that they are on Fortnite.
Yes,
so
they are.
I think that's where Disney is trying to meet them, because they're kind of like, well, if you're already on Fortnite, we're going to make you appreciate our characters through the Fortnite. Like I think Disney sees it as a way to reach their marketing toward the youth right now.
But they're not interested because they like making their own characters on Fortnite. And some of them I get really, really like worried about. I'm like, what is that? And then he'll look at me, he'll like, Mom, this is really cool. It'll be like a muscle with like a weird head and like a hat, or I don't even know. He comes up with his own character. They like making their own stuff rather than picking a Disney character, in my opinion. It's weird.
Well,
weird.
Dash, it seems like they're trying to use Fortnite more as like a metaverse.
Yes, it would seem that way. And we did hear about the potential for a metaverse around the time this was actually listed. And you'll remember too that Bob Iger, I'm sorry, not Bob Iger, Bob Chapek was the one that was really gung-ho about a metaverse being constructed by Disney themselves. Obviously that division, I think, was it was eliminated when Bob Iger actually took back power there at Disney. But this Epic Games, what is it, equity stake or whatever? I can't remember the details of the deal. But this investment into Epic Games by Disney themselves is, I think they see it as part of a long-term play to incorporate more of both their characters and their attractions into this virtual world. I just don't know how. Like I said, I just don't know how sustainable this is. And Generation Alpha, I think Andrew makes a great point. I don't know how interested they are in Disney in general.
They're not, and they enjoy the parks, but they're not gravitating towards what they're pushing out here for Fortnite. No, even the guy with the fish head, they rather play his character than those other characters. Sorry, Marvin, go ahead.
I can't imagine though. Like, are they gonna have like the cruise ships docked on the island that you can then tour around, or is he talking about like actually to plan your cruise vacation, actually like putting money down through Fortnite in order to book your cruise? Because that is not something that I think anyone should be doing.
Oh, sure. Just have your mom's credit card there attached
and your passport.
To that. Yeah, there you go. Just do all that, and the kiddos can book their own cruise vacations. I don't think that's a good idea right there. But Marvin, I don't know about you, but what do you think about this idea of having trailers debut?
I think it's a factor. I think that if it worked, more people would be doing it. Remember, Disney has dropped a few things in Fortnite in the past. They did that Palpatine message from Star Wars to promote the Rise of Skywalker. That was an abysmal failure. The Christopher Nolan thing, I don't think anyone really watched that in there. This is people want to come into Fortnite to play Fortnite.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, you don't want to come in there and live their life. They don't want to come in there and be like, I'm going to watch a Disney movie and see a premiere and tour a cruise ship. No, they want to come in there and they want to get XP and they want to do a battle royal.
Yeah. Yep. That's what he likes. That's exactly true. And he's 11. He'll be 12 this year. And you're not lying.
It just seems like old men like Bob Iger and Josh D'Amaro just being like, oh, the kids like this Fortnite. Why isn't Disney on Fortnite? We should be putting our content there. And
I thought it was hilarious when Bob Iger was like, hey, I don't know, but the kids, Generation Alpha, they're actually playing video games. I don't know if you heard. And so our Spider-Man integration made us a lot of money from that. It was stunning. It was really a revelation. It was like, are you serious?
These kids like video games nowadays?
It's like they're trying too hard.
I mean, the Avatar one looks interesting. I would probably play it just to see what it's about, but I don't think I'm going to make an investment on spending. And that's another thing, parents, please get those prepaid cards. Do not put your credit card on a PlayStation.
So true.
Okay, don't do it. Just get the cards. You can actually load up the prepaid gift cards or whatever card you want to use and just let them have at it because they will charge it up. I remember getting a phone call a long time ago that there was like a $1,500 bill on one of the credit cards.
Oh my god!
Oh, no.
Yeah, it was so funny. I thought it was
They
hilarious.
booked a Disney cruise, I guess.
Yeah, that's the down payment for a Disney cruise.
How does one person spend $1,500 in Fortnite? What did he buy?
I don't know, but I remember there was a bunch of kids over that day. I'm an open door mom. A lot of kids just come here and they hang out, and it was just a big mistake. We got it all squared away, taken care of. It wasn't a problem, but there was like at least 6 kids here playing that day. I love that. I always wanted to give that 90s feel to the kids. I don't want them to grow up so secluded, and just like, not interact. And the kids come over, they're knocking on the door and, hey, I'll order pizza, whatever, but it happened. But this is not going to be appealing to the group of kids that they're trying to go towards. Maybe a Disney adult will play this, but not a child.
Well, I mean, the Disney adults are where they make most of their money. So.
Right. That's
True.
exactly true.
The problem is they're trying to invest in these kids now because the kids of today are tomorrow's Disney adults.
True. That's what they're hoping.
That's what they're hoping.
Disney's gotten a slap in the face. I think they know what Gen Alpha is into. It speaks volumes at Universal, but they still have their own product that they want to make money off of. And, they have to. That's kind of the mentality. So they back themselves into this corner by not staying relevant over the last decade and a half. Meanwhile, Universal has just picked up, Gen Alpha and even some Gen Z and just sweep them off their feet. And they haven't. Disney's just been sleeping.
Well, the other thing is that Disney doesn't have a major brand that has connected with kids in the way that the Minions have or Mario.
Yeah, exactly. Where it's like unisex, but it speaks to everybody. They've really just lost that creativeness. Like I said, they've just been sleeping on it for years, and now they're like, oh, we got to do something. Oh, and it's like, well, you're a little too late to the game now.
Millennials had Stitch, and Gen Z had Frozen. Disney has not come out with their big thing that kids love right now. I mean, and I don't think it's Zootopia because the popularity for Zootopia is not here; it's in China.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
Right. This might be a move for shareholders and shareholders exclusively. Shareholders who might not know better, or potential investors who might not know better, and say, "Oh, look, Disney's coming to this big, virtual space. This is awesome." Meanwhile, I don't know if it's really going to amount to the gains that people are expecting. So it just might be a play towards the uninformed, just like the other 50, 60, or 70-year-olds out there.
It looks like a villains show premiering on Fortnite. It's the 3 characters from the villain show.
Well, I mean, think about it. They want to promote the expansion.
It was a villain show at first.
Oh yeah. No, this is back at the 2024 D23 Expo, I guess. Yeah, they to mark the Villains Land announcement. They put this out.
But you know what? Like the really weird thing with Disney characters in Fortnite is like, so let's say you put Donald Duck into Fortnite. Well, you're about to have Donald Duck carrying an AK-47.
Yes. That's the kind of danger.
You're right, because the weapons, you get to choose your gear and your weapons. Yeah, like he's going to throw grenades and stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Or maybe kids would be attracted to that just because it's funny. Hey, look at this. Look at Mickey Mouse. Look what I got him doing.
No, that makes me sad. No.
Hey, boys will be boys. I can see boys doing that.
Yeah, that's
One of
true.
the only ones that I ever actually like skins that I ever use in Fortnite is Boba Fett, because I'm like, yeah, that makes sense with him with guns.
Right.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
that's true.
Well, guys, the jury's out on what Disney is going to do with Fortnite, but it all comes down on the shoulders of one man, And that's Daddy Josh. I cannot believe they called him that.
I'm going to save that Polygon article to the end of time.
Oh,
I have a
my
comeback,
God.
but it's not appropriate for this channel.
That was the cringiest thing I have ever seen. Like,
Super
weren't they the
cringe.
same ones that tried to call him Pedro Pascal Peepaw, or was that was somebody else? Probably that wasn't Polygon. I don't think.
Peepaw.
That was somebody
I've heard
else.
of
Yeah.
Pappy Pasquale. I heard of that one. I don't know.
Well, anyway, we got a couple super chats to get to. Kaloth for $5 exclusively on Polygon. Disney walks into another minefield, prepaying court settlements in Fortnite ahead of lawsuits over child endangerment.
Ooh.
I mean, Roblox is having a good time with that, so why not Fortnite at that point? Wild and Crazy Bear for $2 is Scott Hamilton says triple axle double toe loop.
My kids begged for Roblox, and I've said no. I'll say no to the day I die. They probably are really mad at me for that. But yeah, just so you guys know, my kids are not allowed to go anywhere near any Roblox games whatsoever. I banned it in the house.
Good move.
The right thing. Roblox is a
And it's tough because every kid out there is playing it. So I'm like the bad guy.
right. So for that Park Place, I've had to cover pretty extensively the Roblox situation, and it's terrifying. It's legitimately terrifying. Children have disappeared because of Roblox. And Roblox does not want to do anything about it.
No.
Because the adult predators on Roblox are the ones that give them the most money. So
That's
sickos.
gross.
They're a bunch
Yeah,
of sickos.
Terrible.
First Dragon Queen, remember, for 12 months. Oh, 12 months. That is an anniversary right here.
Yeah, it is.
Happy anniversary to you, Dragon Queen. We're going to have to, you know what? I will have to play a clip in honor of you. And I can think of no better clip than.
And Dreamer's Point is the antithesis of the idea that Walt had this incredible optimism and hope for the future, that if we all work together and we all dream together, we could build the impossible and make it our reality.
Oh, she really believes what she's saying, don't she?
Oh, my goodness.
In her eyes.
One of the worst things ever said. But by the way, guys, over on Park Hoppin', if you guys head over to the Park Hoppin' YouTube channel, we talked last week about my trip with Jay to Geo82, and that is that vlog is up there on Park Hoppin' now, so you can go check it out. Jay and I getting expensive drinks and charcuterie and watching the fireworks
Nice.
over there. So it came out pretty good. I again, like I said last week, I actually like Geo82. It was beautiful space. It was just, I mean, the shape language was just.
And so what we've tried to do is really bring that shape language from the architecture. But like what we love to talk about at WDI is shape language. And we often refer to shape language.
There's such iconic shape language in Spaceship Reverie Attraction. We really wanted to make sure that we fused to that throughout the space.
I want to create an AI clip of a sock flying into her mouth when she's talking.
That is very random, but
I just think we need to make a
Strange
parody.
That's
of
how
that.
cringeworthy that is.
it really is. I mean, we used to worry about things like how fun is this attraction. Now we just worry about the shape language of the bar.
And she says,
all
like,
right.
we talk about that a lot, which is really interesting.
Yeah, she did
Yeah.
say that.
Well, I mean, when you have nothing else to talk about, it's,
True.
you stick with what you do. But guys, we have got a story to get to right now because we are seeing a resurgence of one of our favorite recurring characters, the one, the only, Rachel Zegler.
It's showtime! Straight from the heart of the park.
It's been a while since That Park Place has had an opportunity to talk about the one and only Rachel Zegler here on the channel, but she is back in the news in a big, big way because her movie, Snow White, the live action extravaganza, the musical event of the decade, folks, it cost Disney a whole heaping amount of money. So I have no idea where I was going with that, but let's talk about it today on That Park Place. Guys, from thatparkplace.com, written by me, Disney's Snow White flop exposed, Rachel Zegler controversy, ballooning budget, and box office collapse cost studio $170 million. Now, and it's actually a lot worse than that. We're going to get into exactly how bad it is. But the financial fallout from Disney's live-action Snow White remake flop is officially coming into focus, and the numbers are nothing short of catastrophic for Disney. According to a new report from Forbes star contributor Caroline Reed, who is a wonderful friend of the channel, we love Caroline Reed over here. The studio's controversial remake didn't just underperform, it cratered. After ballooning production costs, weak box office returns, and mounting controversies surrounding its lead star, the Snow White flop has resulted in an estimated $170 million loss for Disney from theatrical revenue alone. Add marketing into the mix, and this catastrophe becomes a box office apocalyptic event. When you start digging into how this happened, the story gets even worse, guys. The budget spiraled out of control. According to UK tax filings, Snow White racked up $336.5 million in production costs, putting it in the same spending tier as major franchise tentpoles like Star Wars and Avengers. That alone would have been a massive gamble for a remake of nearly a 90-year-old animated classic, but the problem started long before the movie hit theaters. The production was plagued by setbacks, including a destructive set fire during filming at Pinewood Studios and extensive reshoots that drove the costs even higher. By mid-2022, before filming had even fully wrapped, Disney had already spent over $183 million. Even after receiving roughly $64.9 million in UK tax reimbursements, Disney's net production spend still landed at approximately $271.6 million. Now, guys, remember, movie studios only get half or less of the box office money that comes in. So this movie had to add marketing spend into this. This movie needed to make, $600, $700, $800 million to break even. So the stack what it made about where do I have the box office in here? It made $205.7 million worldwide. Which places it among the most costly flops in Disney history. But, Disney's actual return for the film's theatrical run lands around $102.9 million. Stack that against $271.6 million in net production costs, and you're staring at a theatrical loss of $168 to $170 million. But then add marketing into there. If the estimated $170 million theatrical loss wasn't damaging enough, the full financial picture surrounding the Snow White flop becomes even more dire once marketing expenses are factored in. Blockbuster films of this scale don't just carry massive production budgets, they also require aggressive global promotional campaigns. So tentpoles like this for Disney typically have a marketing spend of around $100 to $150 million. So when you add that onto what Disney already spent on production, guys, you are looking at over $250 million, possibly in excess of $300 million in losses for the Disney company on this movie. That is catastrophic, Vash Sky.
I can't believe that number. I mean, I know we talked about it a lot when Snow White was both in production, in post-production, when it was coming out, and when it did come out. I know how much kind of vaguely they had spent because we were getting estimates from various places all over the internet, and they kind of coagulated.
Remember when we were called liars for that?
I do remember that. Yes.
Over and over again, you were attacked and called liars because we were saying they spent over $300 million on this movie.
Yep. I do remember that. I do remember how we were called out, how we were criticized, and dang near crucified for suggesting that this movie cost this much. But it was very easy to see, right? I mean, I know they had a big, large-scale fire on set in which they had to redo a lot of the stage work for this, right? We also saw that they had to reshoot this a number of times. I think Gal Gadot put on her Instagram saying that, welcome, it's good to be home, kind of thing. And it's like, wow, that's kind of a weird thing to say.
Her chair in there, because originally they were not going to do Seven Dwarves because of Peter Dinklage, so they were going to do the Seven Dirty Hippies. Right. And then they added in the Seven Dwarves when the set photos of the Seven Dirty Hippies released. And they kept the Seven Dirty Hippies in the movie. So you had 7 dwarves and 7 filthy hippies crowding up this already ridiculous film.
And I'm sure they tested that. They tested this the initial cut of the film, and it just did not test well. Mandating more reshoots, mandating that they take out entire plot points, story points, and so forth. The vision of the movie, as suggested by Rachel Zegler back at the D23 Expo in that famous interview, right, where she's out there saying, "Oh, this is outdated. The prince might not be featured." All that. Clearly, that was the original vision. Clearly, they had to pivot away from that. But all of that costs money. So when you had these ballooning costs, that's why we were saying, look, this thing's if we are getting reports that this thing is well over $300 million, it does make sense given how much post-production and even production work that you have to go under again and again with this thing. So it all made sense. Obviously, a lot of people didn't believe us. Now we have the official numbers coming out of those UK filings because, well, this was from Pinewood Studios, and it's very illuminating just how much of a tab this racked up, and that was before marketing. That's the thing. That's why they lost, probably well over $300 million because these things aren't put out in a vacuum. You have to alert people to it, and the marketing spend was very high as well.
They really pushed the marketing for this movie a lot as it was coming out because they were determined to try to make this happen. But you remember, Vash, when the trailers all came out, the dislike campaigns in the millions of dislikes.
Oh, some of the most disliked videos in all of YouTube are associated with this film. You remember the parodies, right, that came out because of this? I mean, this thing was universally despised. It didn't matter which side of the spectrum that you were actually on. And even fans, right, because post-production was shortened because production had elongated. Well, now you had trailers coming out with these horrific CG monstrosities that were the dwarves, and those trailers that came out made their debut at the D23 Expo with the fans there. I mean, this is a base that you should expect everybody in that Honda Center going to see your movie. They came out saying, "Oh wow, that looks really bad." That was, to me, the kiss of death, because if you don't have the hardcore fans on your side, you have no one.
Well, just as a little reminder here, for those that don't know, let's take a look at what some of the responses were to the Snow White trailer. Right here.
Mm-hmm. Here we go.
If I saw this movie on a plane, I would still walk out.
I remember that.
TV and look at my couch. I paid nothing to watch this trailer, but I already want my money back. Coming to a theater near you means that a threat. They should have made Rachel CGI instead. One Brown and the 7 Discord mods. The CGI looks much better when I turn my monitor on.
Oh my gosh.
Disney invites you and I must politely decline. I'm rooting for the poison apple. Wise Lord Farquaad playing Snow White. This movie should come with a disclaimer. No dwarfs were harmed, but your childhood might be.
Yeah, that's the problem right there.
Something self-implode this hard since that Titan submarine. Mirror, mirror on the wall. As a German, I claim cultural appropriation. Mirror, mirror on the wall. Snow White in the 7 CGI abomination.
So yeah, it was. There are 4 whole songs like that, guys.
Yes.
But it's so true though, because this is the film that really put Walt. He made like a daring move. They told him you would fail. It's not going to work. No one's going to watch it, and it was a huge hit. And it just lifted up the Disney company. It elevated it and brought it to another level, if you will, and for them to destroy it the way that they did is absolutely insane to me. I still can't get it through my head.
The level of care. Oh, please, Marvin, go ahead.
No, go ahead, Vash. You sound like
the level of care they didn't apply to this was really shocking, right? And to use it as like this political tool almost, or a political propaganda piece, was really unfortunate because, like you said, MJ, this built the Disney studio, right? Yeah. There's a reason why the Disney headquarters has that building with the 7 dwarfs, literally
holding it. They're
holding the
it.
roof
Yeah.
on top, right?
Yeah.
It is so important to understand that the animation facility that was originally designed by Walt Disney back in the 1930s and was built on the back of this film and its unbelievable success. And I think with all the re-releases combined with inflation, I think this film, the 1937 Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs film, made well over $1 billion. So this should have been money in the bag. Instead, right from jump, it was undercut and it never recovered.
I mean, they never even put a Rachel Zegler Snow White character in the parks. They put a Halle Berry Little Mermaid in the parks, and
Yeah,
that was
you're right. That's
they
true.
still have
That
it.
didn't go
They
over.
still have her there.
They even put Asha from Wish, but you're right.
She's
I haven't
still
seen
there
a
too.
Snow White. She's still hanging out in Epcot.
Yeah.
Aren't the lines like not even
They don't
that
exist.
large for those
No.
characters? Like nobody goes.
The line for the bathroom is longer than the line to see the Wish
That's what I
Girl
thought. That
or
sounds
the
about right.
Little Mermaid.
Well, you're waiting for the same thing. Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh,
Yeah.
well done.
Unbelievable.
But now, Erika, here's the thing. Rachel Zegler obviously was a huge draw away from this. She hurt the movie exponentially, first with those initial comments, and then with her political rhetoric. She started voicing open support for specific places in the Middle East, despite the fact that one of her co-stars was from the country, actively engaged in conflict with that, led to reportedly Gal Gadot and her children being threatened and having to get additional security paid for by Disney. Disney had to hire social media gurus for her. Disney tried to rein her in, get her to delete things. She wouldn't do it. This is all reportedly that we've heard. But that original clip of Rachel Zegler doing the weird, and I personally believe, and I want to see if you believe in this too, those were talking points she was given by Disney, and she went off the reservation with them. I
Agreed.
legitimately think that Rachel
Yeah.
Zegler is the monster that Disney created, and then it got out of control.
Yep, that I've been believing that for a while now. There was this. There's a name for it where you. It's a marketing tactic where you kind of come in from a pessimistic angle, and it's supposed to create enough controversy to, I guess, get enough attention and clicks, and I guess even money. I think they were going with that direction. What they didn't see coming was when she was given the green light to, just put this as salt and pepper, this and this in there. Well, she didn't just salt and pepper. She went nuclear with the politics and even let the cat out of the bag. What Disney was doing with the storyline. So it was a twofold. On the one hand, she ran her mouth, on the politics, but in that rant, she also outed Disney on what was happening with the storyline. So Disney also doesn't get a pass. They're not, they are just as much responsible for the flop as she is for running her mouth. They're both in the fault.
And that was delivered at the D23 Expo.
Because they thought that was the relevant thing at the time. Everything was the political hype. The left was just, really in a sense at the top. They peaked and they really thought they had the culture in their hands and in control, across not just the United States but around the world. And they felt they were invisible. But then people like us fought back so hard. Now look where they're at.
Right.
Well, the reason why I think that, she was given those talking points about the prince and about the original movie is because Gal Gadot backs her up immediately, almost as if she's also been given these marching orders.
True.
She's not going to be saved by the prince. Kal-El, no. But, she jumped right in there with that. So that was clearly the marketing machine. The problem with Rachel Zegler is that she thinks that she's funny. And she's constantly trying to crack wise and make these jokes that make the sycophantic interviewers laugh. And the entire country goes, "What did you just say?"
She's a typical theater kid. And from my understanding from friends that have had kids in theater and they're theater people themselves, it's common for these theater kids to actually be conceited and cocky like that and very arrogant.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, for
It's true
Ziegler,
because my daughter
was
went
a
to a
theater
school
kid
of
in high
the
school. I
arts.
can tell you, this is 100% a theater kid.
My daughter
Yeah.
went to the best school of the arts here in our county where we live. And those theater kids, I've always believed that kids should be doing the arts, whether it's drawing or vocal or playing an instrument. But you're right with the theater kids, they are they're the snobbiest group of kids. And I had to deal with them at parties. Oh my God. I was
You
like,
will never have faker friends than in theater.
yeah.
Because at the end of the day, they could say that you're like family to them and blah, blah, blah. But everyone in theater is out for themselves and you are competition.
Yeah.
And it's
So true.
every single person that gets into theater has this like I'm the star mentality.
Mm-hmm.
And will, and they're chasing that to, and I've seen, friendships ended because an audition didn't go the right way.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So,
and you have this witch's brew of things happening, right? You have the upcoming issues within the Middle East and so forth, and we know that how that breaks off. Rachel Zegler herself, I think, is a self-admitted narcissist, right? I know she was saying it jokingly in that interview,
yeah,
right? But still, I mean, this is narcissistic behavior. What we're demonstrating here, I think the producer actually of this film had to go out not once but twice to New York to tell her, please take your post down. You're destroying.
He had to leave his family and fly all the way out to
give her a lecture,
to beg her to take that post down, and she still wouldn't do it. They had to hire social media gurus to police her because after the election, she wished harm on half the country. She said that the president and his supporters should never know peace.
Wild.
Yeah.
It's terrible. You just undercut this film before it even had a chance to run.
And if the film was actually good, I mean, despite the fact that the mainstream media outlets tried so hard to call her a triumph and to say how wonderful she was in it, the movie is absolutely terrible. Pedro Pascal called her an icon.
Of course he did.
It was like, this movie was terrible. It was pure nonstop socialism, like from the very beginning. Like it was just 100%. Like dyed in the red socialism. And since this, she has had absolutely no impact on Hollywood. I think she had another movie lined up with Marissa Tomei. Other than that, we have not seen her do anything.
Are you guys hopeful for the new live action Rapunzel? I really hope they don't mess that up.
I mean,
that's the thing
that
too.
looks good.
Okay.
Well, that film was almost derailed completely because of the box office flop that this film was.
Well,
it was only later on that they really kind of reformat that. But Gal Gadot's career also has taken a steep decline. You don't hear about her either.
Terrible in this film.
Well, that musical number, by the way. Oh my goodness! Whoever decided that was a good idea. I mean, I don't think they're going to be working in Hollywood.
But also, Vash, I think the other thing to point out here is that Gal Gadot's career, I think, has taken the nosedive that it's taken because of where she's from and the way Hollywood feels about that place right now.
That's true.
Yeah.
So Hollywood is just allowed to be like wildly and openly against certain people now, and Gal Gadot is one of them. So
true.
That is what we are seeing. And Hollywood is so much worse for it. Kal-El, no, she's a terrible actress.
Could you imagine though, had Rachel never opened her mouth, this movie would have been, it would have been like a switch and bait for the audience. We would have gotten in there, watched the movie, and it would have been probably worse than what it ended up with being.
It would have made more money initially. I think it would have had a bigger opening weekend. But yes, but Vash was also right. They took Tangled out of pre-production specifically because of this movie. And then when Lilo and Stitch made $1 billion, they were like, oh, so it's not the live action remakes that people don't like. I wonder what it could be. Why is it that Snow White and Little Mermaid bombed, but like Lilo and Stitch and Aladdin and Lion King all make all this money? what could be the thing here? And they put their little Disney heads together and thought and thought and thought and maybe finally figured it out. And we're starting to see that with the casting in Rapunzel, because they're casting
It's so true.
Yes. Yes.
I mean, how hard is it to script something that's already been scripted and worked?
Right.
You're talking about almost a 100-year-old film. Utilizing themes that have stood the test of time. Well, no, what I'm saying is that it's worked for 100 years. The 1937 version of this film is beloved even by today's audiences.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not saying it's the most relevant piece of media out there, but what I am saying is that anybody who's exposed to it goes, "Oh wow, this was actually really good," even today. So it's just like you don't have to rewrite the wheel with all this stuff, or reinvent the wheel, I should say. And yet they try to use this iconic piece of media going back to Walt's day as a way of forwarding their social issues, and it clearly did not work.
Well, guys, we will see what happens to Rachel Zegler in the future, but at least for now, when she calls Disney, Josh D'Amaro is texting back, "New phone, who dis?" Man, they want nothing. They want nothing to do with her. Nothing to do with her.
Terrible.
Yep.
All right, let's see some super chats we got here. First, Dragon Queen said, "Didn't even read what I said. What are you, Jonas?" Oh gosh, did I do that? Did I Yeah, I pulled a Jonas. I'm sorry. Let me go back to it. Oh, I'm sorry, Dragon Queen.
We must investigate
over 12 months.
thyself.
Preview of the next person in the bear suit is up. So I don't know where it's up, but
I
don't know who, and I don't know who the next person in the bear suit is going to be. So maybe
that's true.
Dragon Queen, if you tell us in the chat, I'll just read it aloud because you super chatted because I forgot to read your message. I'm so sorry. Let's see. Doge Pal says Star Wars trailer as of today, or Snow White trailer as of today, 83.8K likes, 2.4 million dislikes.
There you go. That's insane. That's
I love
so
that this dislike ratio
sad.
keeps getting worse. Still.
Well, people want their money back.
We're about a year removed from this, aren't we?
Yeah, we're just about a year removed from this. That is very interesting.
This week marks the 1-year anniversary of the failure of Captain America: Brave New World.
That's very true. It's interesting, Marvin. Yesterday was the birthday of one Robert Iger and also the birthday of one Josh D'Amaro. They were born 20 years.
They
share a birthday. They were born 20 years apart to the day.
Yeah, AKA was a clone grown in a vat.
They're starting to slowly announce the person who may take over parks, right? A little bit, or
Are
no?
they?
I think so. I have to look back into that article I was reading, and I'll send it over to you guys. But I don't really know much about them. Oh, and there's a new lady introduced, and she's going to be, she's part of the Disney company now. What is her role? I'll find it and send it to you guys because I can't remember. I was like, oh, it was early in the morning this morning having coffee.
Hawaii Dragonstar for $10 says Disney should have completely swapped Snow White as Night Black, a prince hunted by a king for being the blackest, who's rescued by 7 tall women and a princess. A harem show or worse. Oh, Hawaii Dragonstar.
Why? That's just like if they do a live action Tiana. I want to see a beautiful black princess and someone who looks like, Dr. Facilier. Like, do it right. Just match the animation. Find the right. There's people out there that can play these amazing characters that we fell in love with. I mean, we're not crazy about Tiana's wannabe adventure river, whatever that thing is, but we like the film. The movie was very cute, the animation film of Tiana. And if they did a live action, they need to make sure they cast the appropriate people, because would you put a German character as the lead role in a Tiana's live action? No, you don't. Like what they did with Astrid over at How to Train Your Dragon. That kind of disappointed me a little bit. My daughter was like, Mom, these people are Nordic. What are they doing? I'm like, I don't know. They put the little girl from Dumbo. I don't know what they're doing. I don't know why they did that.
hold on. I am just loading up something here because Dragon Queen is saying it's on the community tab on her YouTube.
Oh,
So I have
okay.
pulled this up to see who the next person in the bear suit is, and it's me. Okay, great.
Oh my god.
And it's puppet version of me.
Mafia.
So
I love how there's no mafia. That's
There is
perfect.
Oh, it's,
I mean,
there is.
I mean,
no
at least she's
mafia.
writing the truth because there's no such thing as the mafia.
Very true.
It's offensive, guys.
As he holds a baseball bat.
Everyone thinks you're mobbed up, and it's offensive. It's a stereotype. Let's see. Flying blind on a rocket cycle says, "With unbearable bearing, culture has bared all."
Oh my, poor
I
culture.
hope not. Culture is catching a lot of strays today, man. I owe him quite a bit. By the way, guys, over here, if you guys should go subscribe to Dragon Queen's YouTube channel here. See, I'm subscribed, so be like me, be cool like me, and subscribe to the first Dragon Queen over here on YouTube. So,
I gotta do that today.
Yep.
Gotta support all the friends.
I'm subbed also, by the way.
All right. Let's see. We have got trying to figure out which one to go to next. Yeah, I think I know. Guys, we all know that Disney vacations are ludicrously expensive. But it might actually be a little less expensive, at least for a period of time. But that begs the question, why is it so expensive in the first place?
There we go. One more for the top. Triple decker, just how you like it.
Wow, thanks, Mr. Walt.
You enjoy it.
We will.
The Disney company continues to offset the massive cost of a Walt Disney World vacation by offering a whole ton of discounts. These latest room-only discounts have now dropped for the summer of 2026, once seen as the prime real estate for vacationing. The last couple summers in the Disney parks have been noticeably bare. Now, Disney is launching all of these room discounts, but that begs the question, why not just lower the price in general? We're going to talk about it today on That Park Place. Guys, Blog Mickey here has got this new wave of Walt Disney World room-only discounts now available for summer 2026. So let's have a look at what Blog Mickey is talking about here. Following an initial wave of sales, Walt Disney World has rolled out Wave 2 of its broad room-only offer for guests looking to stay at Disney World Hotel this summer. The new offer is a bit more restrictive than the first wave offer, which ended yesterday. Here is the latest. The new room-only discounts for Walt Disney World hotels is now available to take advantage of on the Walt Disney World website. Here is the new offer and how it differs from Wave 1. Save on rooms at select Disney Resorts collection of hotels this summer for stays most nights from May 1st to July 29th. Wave one of the offer was good for the dates through October 4th. Okay, so this is shorter. So save up to 30% for stays of 5 or more consecutive nights and 25% for stays of 1 to 4 consecutive nights. Save 30% for stays of 5 or more nights, or save 20. Okay, yeah, they wrote that twice. And it is at the following locations: Bay Lake Tower, Boulder Ridge Villas, the cabins at Disney's Fort Wilderness Resort, Copper Creek Villas and cabins at Disney's Wilderness Lodge, Disney's Animal Kingdom Lodge, Disney's Animal Kingdom Lodge, Kidani Village, the Beach Club Villas, Boardwalk Inn, Boardwalk Villas, Contemporary Resort, Coronado Springs Resort for king bedrooms, Grand Floridian Resort and Spa, Old Key West Resort, 1-bedroom and 2-bedroom villas, Disney's Riviera Resort, the Saratoga Springs Resort and Spa, the Wilderness Lodge, the Yacht Club Resort, and the villas at Disney's Grand Floridian Resort and Spa. You can also save 25% for stays of 5 or more nights, or save 20% for shorter stays most nights from May 1st through July 29th, 2026 at Disney's All-Star Sports, Animal Kingdom Villas, Caribbean Beach Resort, Coronado Springs, Old Key West, Polynesian Village Resort, Polynesian Villas and Bungalows, and Disney's Port Orleans Resort, Riverside. 20% for stays of 5 nights or more, or 15% for shorter stays most nights from May 1st to June 29th for the campsites at Fort Wilderness Resort, Disney's All-Star Movies, All-Star Music, Art of Animation, Pop Century, and Port Orleans Resort French Quarter. Then you have 15% for stays of 5 or more nights, or 10% for shorter stays most nights from May 1st to June 29th at the Art of Animation Resort in the Little Mermaid standard rooms. Mm-hmm. So guys, lots of discounts on rooms here at the Walt Disney World Resort. That begs the question, why not just lower the price to begin with?
I mean, if they lower,
what say you?
If they lower the price officially, then people expect it at that price, right? This is the kind of price elasticity strategy that Disney's implemented for the last 10 years or so, jack up the price, the base price, and then discount when needed. This is Disney telling you that these rooms during this time are either 10%, 15%, 20%, 25% more expensive than they should be. And so that's why they use this discount stuff. And it really does tell you that summer, at least in Disney's opinion, is really a season by which there's low demand. And so with low demand,
value season now.
Yeah, which is really, really interesting. That wasn't that way before, back 20, 25 years ago. But we've just seen this steady decline in terms of both demand. Ago. Yeah.
It was measuring attendance at Disney World on July 4th, which didn't really factor in temperature, which is about 100 degrees and 99% humidity on that day.
But think about it. I mean, if it's...
What you guys don't know, Vash, though, is that Florida became hot in the last 3 years.
That's true. That's true.
Says the weatherman.
Bob.
Says the weatherman, Bob Iger, yes. But look, the Walt Disney World Resort vacation has become so prohibitively expensive. A lot of guests going into debt in order to even facilitate a vacation of this expense, right? When are you going to go? Are you going to go during summer, or are you going to go during the holidays, or perhaps during a season by which you have better weather? And so I think that's one of the reasons why we're seeing the market shift in this way. People going, you know what? I'm going to take my kids out of school. I don't really care about going during summer because it is maybe so hot and so expensive to be there. And so they have to do these things in which they discount prices in order to raise demand and enthusiasm for going during this time.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Now, Erika, you've stayed at the Disney resorts before. Do you think that the price points that they're offering now with these percentages off, do you think that marks kind of more of what the baseline price should be? Or do you think that they are actually offering some kind of deal?
I don't think you're getting much of a deal considering, like Vash just said, they're raising the base prices on the rooms and then offering a discount. So you're paying full price from maybe a year ago or 6 months ago. If you're doing math in that way, you can see how they're manipulating the math to still be in the profit margins they want to be in. So they're screwing with you psychologically is what it is. And I think some people have caught on to that and they're tired of it. Don't want to be their mathematical profit guinea pigs. They just want a good deal so they can take their family on a, relaxing vacation, get away from the grind of everyday life. And this is why the cruise industry, and I'm not speaking just Disney, but the industry has been booming exponentially over hotel vacations.
Yep, and the other thing about going on a cruise ship is you get turn down service every day, which you do not get at these Disney resorts.
So true.
And hey, one of the things that I think is important to note here is that Disney likes to go after the very rich clientele. They don't typically shop the deals. So maybe is it possible that they are leaving the prices at this high base point because they know that the whales will still go out there and pay that through the nose. They'll book the King Kamehameha suite at the at the Polynesian resort, which is a thing. That is a real thing. And I think it is the single most expensive room at Disney.
I think so too. That one and the suite in the Riviera or the bungalows. But yeah, I think that the prices, just like you guys were saying, for the summer, it's a tease, and there will be some flies that fall in the trap. But I really, really, really feel like people, especially families, are turning in another direction of from January to let's say April, willing to pull out the kids from school and get a really good deal on a room and their vacation in a whole. Because food inevitable. It's more you want to. you want to save on your room and your stay, because if you're going to be there for a week or two, the better the discount, the better you can budget for other things or just put that money away for something else. And we've even gotten to that point. I mean, and going to the Disney cruise ships, like you said, it's so nice getting that turn down service. The discounts on the Disney Cruise Line are insane right now. Too good to pass. People are just even booking them, even though it's freezing and they don't want to get their heinies in the water in the Bahamas. But you're taking that 4-night, 3-day cruise because it's such a steal, and you get that Disney magic, entertainment, and decent food on those ships. So I just think it's all of these price hikes in the summer with the wannabe discount is just to get the flies in their trap, and they will get them. They will get them.
Yeah.
Vash, it almost seems predatory, right? The way that the way that they raise these prices and then pretend that they're offering you discounts.
Right. Yeah, it is almost predatory, and it works both ways, right? Obviously, I think MJ pointed out exactly what the intention is on the first way, but the second way would be you raise prices, the base prices for these hotel rooms in order to encourage DVC sales. And so what resorts have we really seen been constructed in the last 10 years, the majority of which being almost DVC exclusive resorts, or maybe like a DVC and resort combo, and it just goes to kind of show where the company is really invested in, where they think the profits are actually. And so it's like, okay, well, if we do increase prices to the extent that we do, we can always discount, especially for lower seasons and so forth. But the higher we push those prices, the more people that we invite into this trap, as MJ puts it, the more people might be encouraged to do this more frequently, and that's where we get the DVC sale. So that's what we're seeing.
Do you guys think that Epic has anything to do with these deals for the summer?
I don't think so. I think this has been a long-term strategy with Disney pushing DVC. To Vash's point, they've really have had tunnel vision. I think in terms of their marketing and profit strategy, they really, really want to push DVC. And the best way to do that is you hike the prices up so it makes the DVC look, better, more palatable. It's easier to sell because they can sell you on, but look how much you're saving. And if,
right.
And then where they get you too, and I don't want to say it's a gimmick, aside from Disney vacations, they also sell you on, but if you don't want to use your points at a theme park vacation on that particular year, you can do this other kind of vacation through us, somewhere else in the US or in the world, depending on what package and tier you invest in. Because there's the DVC, it's more than just theme park vacations and locking in those deluxe resorts when you basically mortgage your vacations for the next 30 plus years. They do take to account how you vacation. So on the one hand, it's kind of predatory and gimmicky, but on the other hand, you're not as restricted to just a Disney vacation either. There is wiggle room to use your points, in the mountains.
They spend an inordinate amount of money every single year to track your data, to know exactly how you vacation, so that they can then structure all that around what they're doing. But honestly, I think that Epic has had an effect. I think because while this last couple summers have been pretty light, last summer was a ghost town.
True.
We were there from the Memorial Day, 4th of July, Labor Day. We were keeping track of everything all summer long, and all summer it was a ghost town. And the thing that happened right around Memorial Day was Epic Universe opened up. And Disney was emptier than I've ever seen it in the summer. So I think that Epic has had an adverse effect. I think that now it's done what they feared it was going to do, right? It pulled people out of the Disney bubble. And what Disney relies on is you remain in the Disney bubble. That's why they used to give you passage from the airport, because they get you right from the plane. They take you right to the Disney bubble. You remain in the Disney bubble where you eat their food, you sleep in their hotels, you take their transportation, you go to their parks. And then at the end of the day, they put you right back on that bus, take you right back to the plane, you go right home, and you don't go anywhere else in Orlando.
Right.
Now, they took Magical Express away, so now people don't have to like surrender to the Disney bubble. People are renting cars now more than ever. People are using Uber now more than ever. Rideshare is so easy to do, and that has kind of changed the game in getting from Disney to Universal. Back before Uber, you would have to take a taxi cab, and that was infinitely more expensive to get across town to go to Universal. Now, I think what you're starting to see is people are splitting their vacation. They're doing a few days in a Disney resort, but then they're doing a few days in a Universal resort as well to take advantage of the perks over there. The Universal resorts are also priced below the Disney resorts.
I was just going to talk about that for a second because I'm worried if they're Universal sometimes likes to mimic the behavior of Disney resorts, and I'm really scared because you have the Helios, that big hotel that's in the middle of Epic, and then you have the Stella Nova and the Terra Luna. And please correct me if I'm wrong, but those are kind of like the value resorts of Universal, if you will, almost like the All-Stars that we have at Disney World. But lately, when I check their rates, those rooms, I'm talking about a standard room, are almost $400 a night.
Whoa.
Now the Helios is like the top tier, right? Because it's like you're in Epic, and it's a beautiful 5-star resort, and that night can run you maybe $500, $600, $700 depending on the room you book. So if I, for Terra Nova and Terra Luna and Stella Nova to go up the way they have, I was in the beginning, Marvin, last year when Epic opened, I remember those rooms were right under $200 a night.
Yeah. When I went back in October, they were still very affordable.
I don't know what happened, but another point too is Helios is actually not one of Universal's premier signature like deluxe hotels. It's actually in their mid tier. There's no fine dining restaurant like full service. There's no spa. So I'm kind of, unless they consider the park access, basically, maybe
Helios
it's bumped up to that premier. But
you're paying for the park access with Helios. That's
Helios
was a lot less expensive when it first opened up. Now Helios is like Disney pricing. Look, Theme Park Wizard just says Epic is sold out tomorrow and all next week, and also says I paid $180 each night something for Cabana Bay this weekend.
Wow.
So you'll still have affordable options.
Yeah.
But with I think you're right, MJ, and I think you're right, Marvin. With the opening of Epic, you had increased hotel inventory, and that hotel inventory has its own demand, in which Universal's trying to satiate with, obviously higher prices and so forth. But that has also equated to diminished demand for Disney's hotels and offerings, especially during this time. And I think with that increased supply for the entire Orlando market, as trumpeted by Universal, you might see even more declines for demand for Disney's products.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, guys, when you are booking your Disney vacation, look at the price point, look at the discounts you're being offered, and look at the fine print, because it might be that the savings that you're getting aren't really savings at all. All right, a few super chats to get to before we hop on to the next thing. Snarky to stink it up over in the chat, gifting 5 that Park Place memberships. Thank you very much, Snarky. We love having you here, buddy. We are always pleased to see you drop in. And then we've got Kaloth for $5. Disney is discounting hotels because guests will be inside their rooms due to lack of activities after first 2 hours. Even Six Flags has more active. I mean, that's the case for something like what do you call it? Animal Kingdom, right? Where they've got 6 attractions at the moment. Maybe they're back down to 5 because Dinosaur just closed.
I think it's 5 now. Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, Magic Kingdom though, you've got 40 attractions there. Like you have plenty to do there. But over in Epcot, Frozen Ever After reopens tomorrow, but it's been closed for the last few weeks. So each park has a lot of them are behind construction walls right now. So I definitely see that point though. All right, guys, you ready to head into our final story of the week?
Here we go.
Here we go.
All right. Well, guys, Media personalities are trying to prove to you that it's affordable to go to Disney. Here's why they might be full of baloney.
I just can't wait for 3 days of you and me.
Walt Disney Company and Walt Disney World particularly are ludicrously expensive, but there are certain media personalities that are telling you that you can absolutely afford to take a Disney vacation. Well, you know, if you have a couple of perks to be able to skirt the system like they do. Let's talk about it today on That Park Place. This is a Business Insider article that was brought to my attention by Jordan Bradley. This was up on the this looks like it just came out. How the two of us spent $1,600 on a 48-hour trip to Disney World and what we do differently next time. Now that doesn't sound like a lot when you talk about a Disney vacation. 2 days at Disney could very easily run you over $2,000. So she says, recently I went to one of my favorite cheapest trips to Disney World for $1,600 for 2 people. We saved money booking a value resort, but splurged on food and souvenirs, especially pins. Visiting the parks during an event also ended up feeling like a pretty great value for us. Now, I want you to keep that one in mind, guys, because that's where this is all going to kind of come together. So I've been to Disney World many times, and I like to think I know how to do it on a budget, at least a loose one. Recently, my partner and I planned a last-minute trip to the theme park on our way to visit family in Southern Florida for the holidays. Between flights, transportation to and from the airport, lodging, park tickets, food, and souvenirs, we spent about $1,600 or $800 each for about 48 hours in the Disney bubble. Here's a look at what we spent, ways we saved, and what we might do differently next time. So right away, she says, we spent $237 on our flight from Fort Myers, Florida to Orlando and landed a few hours before we planned to visit Disney World. Now, $237 for a flight, that's pretty cheap, but that is a really short flight also. You're going from Florida to Florida. But by the time we arrived at our Valley Resort, All-Star Music, our room was ready for check-in. $319 for 2 nights. Vash, that seems very low.
That does seem a little bit low. I do wonder if they were able to take advantage of some discounting or
maybe because I thought these resorts were like $250 a night.
The All Stars, you can get them for under $200 during the right time of the year.
Okay.
Yeah. Sounds like that's what they did here.
We tend to choose value resorts because they are the cheapest hotels on Disney property. Plus, stays come with complimentary bus transportation to the parks in Disney Springs. Yeah, you know what? All-star resorts, value resorts, there are good things and bad things about the value resorts. At the end of the day, I used to always say, your Disney resort is only there for you to eat, sleep, and poop. So like at the end of the day, that's what you're using the room for. Why does it have to be $1,000 a night? So yeah, an all-star resort can serve you well. And some of those all-star resorts have a lot of charm. I've stayed at All-Star Sports, Pop Century, and I've never stayed at All-Star Movies, but I love All-Star Movies because they have Mighty Duck stuff.
Yeah.
But I have
The
walked
theming
through
is great. The All Stars have the best theming. It's like old school Disney.
The problem is though, the All-Stars, the bus services run much slower there. Not only that, but the they're very loud. They're very loud resorts.
Oh yeah, they are loud. A lot of cheer groups and sports teams go there. That's why.
Yep, a lot of teenage groups, things like that. A lot of parents with small kids go there. So you are dealing with very, very loud. So like when I stayed at All-Star Sports, I was right outside that like little foosball type area where it's like a football field, and there were like these teenagers who were literally playing flag football out there and screaming. So it does happen. All-Star Music was the cheapest of the 5 Valley resorts when we booked. Our room provided us with enough space for our short stay. After grabbing some snacks at the hotel food court for $25, we took a much-needed nap and got ready to visit the Magic Kingdom. Since we attended a seasonal event, we did not need to buy separate park tickets. Okay, here's the gimmick. This is how. Now, fortunately, Past Me unknowingly helped me save during this trip. I had 2 unused tickets to last year's Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party, an additional ticketed event held at Magic Kingdom that I was able to put toward a new party date. I just had to pay the difference, which was $21 for both tickets. That's how it's under $2,000 because you didn't pay for park tickets.
There you go.
So you can't actually do Walt Disney World on $2,000 for the weekend.
No.
Is if you had actually added park tickets in, especially even with a park hopping option, or even if it's just one park, even if it was just Magic Kingdom, you're adding another like $400 to $500 on top of this day. And then if you're going to an after hours event, add another $500 onto that.
Right.
They make it sound like this is you can do this. Like everybody can just do this at booking.
Yeah, as long as you just have, free tickets, you guys can save a ton of money with free tickets.
Who made this article?
I'm not going to call out the name again, but these tickets typically run $169 to $209 per person, and they felt virtually free. Since I'd already paid for them in the past, they weren't free. You paid for them. You just paid for them a year ago.
Right.
That's ridiculous.
Right.
That's ridiculous.
So add the cost from the previous year plus your $21 difference.
Mm-hmm.
That's what you still paid for.
Mm-hmm.
We also didn't need to buy a park ticket because we were able to enter Magic Kingdom at 4 p.m. on our event day and could stay until midnight. Yeah, that's the other trick. If you have a ticket to the event, you can enter Magic Kingdom at 4 o'clock. Several drinks and treats were included with our ticket. Yes, you could also get Very Merry. You get hot chocolate. You get what they call apple cider. That's not apple cider. It's apple juice, and you also get eggnog.
Oh man.
And cookies. So we arrived at Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party. We each got an ornament and a Mickey-shaped peppermint marshmallow. Our ticket also included festive treats and drinks and like cookies and hot chocolate that we picked up throughout the evening. I'd estimate we consumed at least $30 worth of treats. Yes, they're all included. We all know this. We got our sugar fill from those and purchased a few savory bites, like my favorite meal at Magic Kingdom, the ham and Gruyere croissant sandwich with chips, $11 at Gaston's Tavern. That is a good one. I have had that. Though they used to have, Vash, a giant pork shank that you could get at Gaston's Tavern.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah.
There's nothing cooler than sitting by the fireplace with all the antlers and Gaston's big chair and just eating a pork shank. Like you've never felt that.
Oh, the good old days.
And it was a good pork shank too. They got rid of it. They got rid of it and replaced it with like a beef stew. And I'm like, yeah, that's what I want in July in Florida. A nice hearty beef stew.
Way too hot for that. Mm-hmm.
Did you like it, Marv? Well, we got to get rid of it.
Yeah, I like it. We've also got popcorn for only $2.50 because we got a refill in our reusable popcorn bucket. It's a must-pack item for every Disney trip. Again, this is a thing that you have spent money on in the past.
Correct.
Yeah, they don't include it in the price.
Yeah.
Jeez.
A popcorn bucket is $30. So if you don't have one from a past trip, then tack that onto your night. I kept my souvenir purchases to a pair of mix and match character ears, $46 for a headband. $46 for a headband.
Oh yeah, they're up there.
Mint pin for $23.
Look, I get them on clearance and I wait because I wanted this so long and I waited and I got it on clearance. I paid under 40 for it, like way under 40. I think it was like 32. And it is Disney parks because I got it from the Disney store website. I mean, I don't understand how people are paying so much money for headbands and all kinds of stuff. Like I love Disney and all, but geez, I don't.
Back in 2009, they were under $12.
You see, it's insane.
The party also included performances, a holiday parade, fireworks, character meet and greets, and access to classic rides, which sometimes have shorter waits than a normal park day. Yeah, we know, but you still, you got into it for free, essentially. So we got to ride all the Magic Kingdom rides we wanted multiple times without having to pay extra for lightning lane passes. And you can do this too, as long as you have, event tickets from a previous year that you just didn't use.
Silly.
Magic Kingdom ticket on its own can run upwards of $200 depending on the day. So the special event add-ons like unique character meet and greets and complimentary snacks definitely make the ticket price worth it. These events are my hack.
That's not a hack.
It's not a hack. It is a set of circumstances unique to you.
Exactly. Oh my gosh.
If you're down to have a late night and stay in one park instead of opting for flexible pricier park hopper passes, if it's your first time in Magic Kingdom and you can get a one-day ticket for the same price or less than the party ticket, I'd stick with the former so you can go at your own pace. Our second day was focused on eating around the world at Epcot, and we didn't spare any expense. Nice Josh Hammond or Hammond there. We purchased 2 single-day tickets to Epcot for our second day, which cost us $381. On longer trips, we normally opt for the flexibility of park hoppers, but we didn't want to spend our limited time traveling between the parks. Plus, the flexible multi-park ticket would have cost over $70 more per person. Since we were staying in Epcot, we didn't buy lightning lane passes. I don't think they're worth it here because the park doesn't have many rides. Plus, we could use single rider lanes and skip large waits at both Remy's and Test Track. most of our money was spent on food and as long as you don't want to ride together. Most of our money was spent on food and drinks from booths at Epcot International Food and Wine Festival. We revisited festival classics like the filet mignon with mashed potatoes, $20 for 2 orders from the Canada Pavilion, and some new favorites like the flauta de barbacoa, $9 from the booth in Mexico. Other favorites included the warm carrot cake with cream cheese icing for $5, which I get every year, and my favorite drink, the Ottawa Apple, for $16.50. Some bites were just okay, like the chicken dumplings for $6 in the China Pavilion. Never get from the China Pavilion booth, guys. It's always terrible. However, I'm glad we looked into festival menus in advance to plan which booths we wanted to prioritize that help save time and money while getting more excited about our trip. I shelled out the most money on collectible pins. Many of these pins, blah blah blah. Yeah, they're pins. They're $23 each. Ultimately, I spent $165 on mystery packs. We ended our trip with a free activity. After our full Epcot day, we went to Disney Springs. The shopping and dining spot is free parking and is a nice place to wander if you're wanting to be a part of the Disney bubble without forking over hundreds for the tickets. Then we headed to the airport for our flight home. Okay.
$197 for the flight home?
So they spent $1,600 for 2 people. In actuality, the value of this trip is over $2,000 because you're adding $200 park tickets for that you got for free because of a technicality. So like as long as you can take advantage of this weird technicality, you too can save a lot of money on your Disney vacation.
That's
the only legit thing about this whole article was using the trash can as a table. That's legit.
Yeah, exactly.
That's so legit. That's so like right on target and factual. Everything else is not.
I think what they were saying, they just didn't say it, is at the time of booking, they didn't spend all of that extra money on that said particular maybe paycheck, whatever. She kind of made it sound like they paid cash versus putting it on credit or going through Disney and financing. So what I got out of it.
These are also no kids.
Oh, very true.
So it's not like they're giving advice to families here. A family's not getting 2 days at Disney for under $2,000.
No, the only way that's going to happen is if you're in Florida, if you're a local and you don't have to pay for the flights, you don't have to rent a car.
Well, and they were local because they flew from Fort Myers. So it sounds like, but yeah, they probably would have had to.
Flight sounds a little steep. Because I could be wrong. I don't know because I haven't checked flights specifically from Fort Myers to Orlando, but I know from Key West to Orlando, you can find flights for like $50.
Oh, so here's the other thing, guys. They didn't like talk about how they got from the airport to Disney because that's an expense. Either you rented a car, or you paid to take the Mears bus, or maybe you didn't pay anything because a nice friend picked you up at the airport and brought you. Or you Ubered, which costs quite a bit. So that's another additional expense that they didn't tack on to this. So there are plenty of expenses here. Plus, did you not tip your housekeeper at the end of the stay? You have to do that as well each night that you're there. Plenty of things that they were probably charged extra for that are left out of this.
Yeah, how did they get from the airport to the hotel?
They didn't say. Yeah.
Right. Well,
maybe somebody like Marvin said, maybe a friend picked them up and they didn't mention it.
I mean, even if like for military families, you can secure your tickets way in advance through those military discounted tickets. But even then, a family budgets that no matter how far in advance something's being purchased before you book, because you can do that on some of these military tickets. You can buy your tickets now and then book a few months later for your actual, stay.
So, guys, at the end of the day, Disney Pixie Dusters will always try to convince you that it is not nearly as expensive as you might think it is. You could do this for under $2,000 for a weekend. It's perfectly easy and simple. You just have to do what we do and have the exact same circumstances that we had. I mean, when Pro showed me this article, I was like, my head exploded. Because I'm like, you're framing this as actionable advice and proof that Disney can be affordable, but you have one of the biggest red glaring technicalities of all time on this.
So very true.
Yeah.
Yeah, be careful what you read out there, folks.
Yeah, don't believe everything you read. Always go through legit links, like the ones on my Instagram. Those are legit.
I was thinking about doing for park hopping like a $30 a day, like, Rachel Ray type gimmick. Just not like what she did, because Rachel Ray Rachel Ray would like go to like another country and she would be like, I can do this for $30 a day, and she would tip like 2 cents on all of her meals.
Oh
gosh.
Yeah, no, it was terrible show.
Oh, wow.
But so one time I tried to see if I could find like 5 snacks under $5 in Disney, and I couldn't.
No, doesn't exist.
Not anymore.
No, I
You
think the
pay
cheapest
for an
snack
entire
is
box
$6
of
or $7.
Yeah, no, even like the package of like gummy bears is more than $5.
Oh wait, no, your refill on your popcorn bucket is under $5. Sorry, Marvin.
As long as you paid the $35 for the popcorn bucket.
Correct.
Right.
Yeah.
Bring your popcorn buckets. I bring mine.
Yeah.
I put them in my carry-on. I bring them with me.
I don't bring mine back into the park. My popcorn buckets are decorative only. Popcorn does not touch them.
Oh no, I just get the regular standard. I don't collect.
Oh yeah,
the popcorn buckets. I just get the regular one. You can
get
refill.
the one with the lid. That one is
Yeah,
worth
they look like
taking
a pail you take to the beach.
Yeah, those
Yeah.
are good. But like if you get like a character popcorn bucket,
I've never gotten one of those.
I'm
At least
with
not yet.
Marvin on that, because like my Cinderella or the Prince Charming carousel one, I would not take that back to the
Oh no,
park.
yeah, you don't want to ruin those. Those
Yeah.
are basically to set
Yeah.
out pretty on a table somewhere.
But the one, like you said, with the handle and the little lid,
Yeah,
those
that's
are
what I got.
yeah, you want to take those back to the park for sure for a refill.
It's just it's really astounding how this article frames itself, right? Oh, $1,600. We go. When you really think about it, you're talking about $2,000 really for 2 people for 2 days. $1,000 per person per day. That's quite obviously quite significant, and that's the value oriented option, right? I mean, that's we're getting deals, we're the hacks and so forth, and it's just kind of astounding. I remember back in the 80s and early 90s when my parents were going to Disneyland, they said that they had mapped out the cheapest way to go, and it was like $100 a day for the both of them each day to go to Disneyland. And now you're talking about $1,000 per person per day to go to Walt Disney World, and that's the value option, right? It just goes to show just how expensive this is, and well, if you have a family of 4, you could be spending a whole lot more, obviously.
Absolutely.
Right.
Well, guys, just so you know, like when you're looking at things like this, when people are trying to pixie dust and they're trying to tell you that Disney can be affordable. It doesn't really cost that much. You could do it on a budget. Don't worry about it. Just put everything on your credit card. Take a harder look at the advice that they're giving you, because you might find out that they're not being 100% honest. Okay, guys. So we that is it. That is all of our stories for today. I don't see any more super chats in the pipeline, so it looks like we are all done for today. It looks like we are heading out, and we'll be back on Friday at noon for me and Jonas in the Extra Magic duo cast, which is a much more chill stream where we just kind of like talk the whole time. But Erika, you've got a big right after that on Friday, you're going to have your big live stream coming up. So why don't you talk a little bit about that?
So this Friday, yep, after that Park Place at 2, Raph and I will be going live. We'll be going live with whoever shows up to be on panel. MJ, I think you'll be there. Maybe Tom F. Culture's been known to pop in, and haven't really lined up any topics. I usually do, but we usually never cover them because the banter is the conversation just naturally flows. Again, we don't have a specific niche of our channel. It's just hanging out with us, and we can literally talk about anything. So bring your brew. It's called Brewed Banter, coffee, tea, beer, and we just sit around shooting the bull, as I call it. Well, that's my PG way of saying it.
MJ, what have you got going on lately?
Oh, thank you. I am going to be on Brood Banter tomorrow with Erika and Raph. And I also think we're going to try to get Lou on there, right? Lou is coming over. Lou?
Yeah, he's having
Help
tech
your shows?
issues. We're trying to
Yeah.
help him walk through his technical issues, like to get
Yeah.
him on.
Yeah, you guys don't have like language restrictions on your show, right?
No, that's another thing. We do get spicy. My Cuban Irish will come out, so you're gonna get a perspective from me, like the real me, and it can be raw and annoying because
And if you guys have Lou on that episode with All Unleashed, like guys, if you've never experienced Lou without any restrictions on him,
Yeah.
you're gonna
that's
want
gonna be fun. Oh, we're gonna have fun then on Friday if we can get Lou on. But yeah, it is more spicy. So if you've got kids, parents, put your earbuds in, or maybe maybe listen on a replay. I don't know, but just caution. It's not. We're more loose of the tongue on our channel.
But yeah, I'll be there on Friday, and then I'm on Instagram and X, and I am on this lovely channel on Mondays and Wednesdays at 12 p.m. Usually on Wednesdays, I'm hanging out with Marvin, Vash, and Erika, and on Mondays, we got Pro and Jonas, and sometimes Ron from Follow the Bradley's Fun, which I'm also on the dish on that. I'll be there tonight for his dish, and whatever Vash Sky has coming up, I'm happy to join in on his channel. But yeah, thank you so much, Marvin, for having me on the show today, and follow me on Instagram, and I have some really interesting links, and you'll find them really helpful and save some money. So that's that.
All right. Vash Sky, the proprietor extraordinaire of the Vash Sky Park Cast. Tell us a bit more about that and what's going on over there.
'Tis me, yes, Vash Sky Parkcast, a new channel that I have launched there, and you guys have been super supportive. I think we have well over 350 people who have subscribed, and we haven't even put up a video. We will be putting up content, obviously, in the very, very near future. I am working right now on the production of our first video. The scope has been enlarged, but you can find out all kinds of amazing things about Josh Tomorrow. Like I was saying before, the birthday that he shares with Bob Iger, 20 years apart, that's a little strange. Also, too, did you know that Josh Giamaro wanted to be a sculptor back in the day? And while he was putting together a 12-foot sculpture, he said, maybe this is not going to feed a family of 4 or whatever, so I'm going to get out of this and get into finance and business and so forth. And well, now we have we can enjoy him all today as he makes his way to the CEO seat at March 14th during the shareholders meeting. But to learn about Josh Giamaro, to learn about his history and what we can expect from him, that's going to be our very first video over there on Vash Guy Parkcast. You can go ahead and subscribe there. Put the link in the chat there, or at least my name, so you can go ahead and click through that and then subscribe there. Also going to have live streams coming up. I want to go ahead and get a set live stream schedule, but we might actually go live depending on, well, whatever happens, whatever breaks in the news. So if you want to go ahead and get notified when we go live, all this stuff, go ahead and subscribe over there to Vash Sky Parkcast. We also have an Instagram. We also have TikTok, which we'll be activating very, very shortly. You can go ahead and subscribe to those channels, those venues as well, to be updated on all things going on with the new channel. So thank you so much, guys. Hope to join you all via that platform shortly.
Yay.
All right. And guys, for me, I have one request to all of you, the 229 people watching right now on that Park Place. Please, please, please head over. I'm putting the link in the chat right now to youtube.com/@M4Empire Gaming. That's my gaming channel. Please, please subscribe over there. Ring the bell. We are going live tonight over there at 7 p.m. to play Final Fantasy VII Remake Integrate on the Nintendo Switch 2. And we're going to have a great time. Go check out the stream that we just did the other day. It's 4 hours of me playing Resident Evil 2 for the first time ever in my life. Never played a Resident Evil game before. I scream a lot because it is a terrifying game, and Fear the Beardo from the Fear the Beardo channel and Geeks and Gamers is there with me, and he is just laughing at me the entire time. So at one point, I try to throw a grenade at one of the bosses, and it bounces off the ceiling and comes back to me and blows up in my face. So guys, come check out M4 Empire Gaming, please. Hit the subscribe button, hit the bell icon, and of course, also just the regular M4 Empire channel. We are pushing up to 7,000 subscribers very soon. So we would really love to have you over there. We have got a new video out right now on the Mandalorian and Grogu Super Bowl spot. And we're going to probably have one more out today on the actual real numbers for the Bad Bunny Super Bowl halftime show. So check that out. All right. Thank you guys very much for joining us this week. And we hope you'll subscribe here to That Park Place for all the news that should be fun.
Thank you.